Is this the location where Kris Kremers and Lisanne Froon made their eerie flashlight pictures? Join us for a full overview of the 2025 expedition to the rapids. In April 2023, our drones found a narrow valley in an area which had never been explored before, which strongly resembled the night location. If Kris Kremers and Lisanne Froon left the Pianista Trail somewhere between the Mirador and the paddocks and started following the first stream downhill toward the river, as is often suspected they did, it is almost inevitable they passed this location. We do not know when, where, and why Kris and Lisanne left the trail, but as the northerly route, leading via desolate stream, had already been explored by teams from Frank Vandergoot and Imperfect Plan, we decided to take the southerly route instead, which had never been properly documented. So, in 2025, when, due to the very welcome aid of a sponsor, we were able to send out a new expedition, we commissioned Romain to leave the Pianista Trail between the Mirador and the last known location, and subsequently make his way downhill through the easterly valley toward the first stream and the rapids, a distance of about 2 kilometers. After exploring the valley halfway down the rapids, Romain and his team would subsequently continue toward the main river to visit 2 other potential locations, which we will show in part 2 of this video. After lengthy preparations, Romain and his team set out on their route off the trail and into the easterly valley on June 25, 2025. Initially following an old trail, which passed down into the easterly valley, they followed a route which Kris and Lisanne may have taken if for some reason they left the Pianista Trail while trying to return to the Mirador and Bouquet. Full footage of this trip down into the easterly valley and along the first stream to the rapids will be available later this year from Romain's YouTube channel, a link to which you can find in the description of this video. As our drone footage already predicted, the steepest part of the descent was right at the shore of the stream. At places such as this, a sliding fall, resulting in injury, is very much possible. The old theory that Kris and Lisanne would have become trapped along the stream that runs down the easterly valley after a fall down one of the slopes turned out to be wrong, though. Although a sliding fall down one of these slopes is very well possible, the stream which runs down the easterly valley is too narrow to have been the night location. However, after an exceptionally long dry period, the water levels in April 2014 would have been very low, and a stream such as this would have been almost completely dry, allowing a route through the dense forest by walking along the stream bed. It is possible that if Kris and Lisanne somehow ended up in this stream bed at the bottom of the valley, the steep slopes and dense vegetation made it impossible for them to climb back up, leaving them no other option but to follow the stream downhill toward the river in the hope of reaching Alto Romero or one of the farmhouses. Due to the much higher water levels and strong current, after reaching the first stream, Romain and his team were forced to cut themselves a route through the dense vegetation on the steep slopes as they followed the stream. But it is likely Kris and Lisanne would have been able to walk along the stream bed. As mentioned earlier, full footage of this trip downriver and everything they discovered along the way will be available later this year on Romain's channel, a link to which you can find with the description of this video. In order to find the best route along the shore, they were forced to cross the stream several times. At some places, deep gullies cross the terrain, somewhat similar to those of the Pianista Trail. After following the stream for considerable distance, they finally arrive at the top of the rapids, where they cross the stream one last time before descending into the valley below.
Il y a beaucoup d'araignées ici.
Via a series of waterfalls, the stream steeply descends 10 to 15 meters as it crosses another fault line, cutting out a deep gorge with almost vertical walls. If ever there was a place where someone can get trapped, this is it. If Kris and Lisanne followed the first stream, they must have passed this place. There simply is no other route, and the steep cliffs and dense vegetation would not have allowed them to go around it. Whatever route they may have taken down the valley, this is where it all comes together. A deep gorge with stepped waterfalls, which shows an eerie resemblance with what we see on the night pictures. Descending further into the valley, the team reaches the place which was first discovered by our drones in 2023, a sharp turn with a large round stone right above a waterfall. Could this be the place where Kris and Lisanne made their flashlight pictures in the early morning of April 8, 2014? There are similarities, but there are also several important differences. A large boulder with several deep channels cut through it may have been the rock pictured in image 542, but it is not in the correct position relative to the valley. The general shape and size of the valley, as well as the vegetation and the red stones, strongly resembles the night location. However, there is no sign of the forked tree, and several boulders seem to be in the wrong location. If we discount the moss, which is now growing on it, the round boulder is about the correct size and shape for the boulder shown in image 550. And some of the boulders on the opposite shore resemble boulders shown in image 599, but the match is not 100%. But even if this is not the night location, the place is teaching us a lot about what kind of place we are looking for, and what type of terrain Kris and Lisanne must have been passing through. If Kris and Lisanne started to follow the first stream, this is where they must have ended up. Without a machete and specialized climbing gear, there is no route around the rapids, and once you go down, there is no way back. With near vertical walls, the place is a trap, and if a flash flood washes through, you may be in a lot of danger. Nevertheless, although the place has a lot of similarities with the night location, there does not seem to be an exact match. So either things have changed substantially in the past 11 years, or this is not where Kris and Lisanne made their final pictures. With water levels being very low, it is possible Kris and Lisanne passed this place and continued on, following the stream toward the main river, which is something Romain and his team will do as well in the second episode of this series. If you manage to get past the rapids, the terrain gradually gets more benign as you approach the paddocks of Monterey and the main river. However, if you keep following the stream, the farmhouses out on these paddocks will remain hidden from view by the various hills. In the second part of this video, we will take a look at Rio Mamey, the southern branch of the main river, where the first stream will lead you to explore another potential night location.